The Semeru Volcano by
Angelina Rios Galindo,
Jasmine Cervantes.
Dustin Hong.
Indonesia is a place known for volcanoes. It has many famous ones, for example, the Semeru Volcano. Semeru is a steep-sided volcano, also referred to as the Semeru Volcano, that can rise abruptly to 3,676 meters above the coastal plain to the south. It is mostly famous for its eruptions that it has that are old and new. For example, in 2000, Semeru erupted on May 2nd. Like other eruptions, the top two-thirds of the cone had ash and cinder. The 2000 explosion is similar to the one in February 2nd, 2012. On that day, the volcano had a pyroclastic flow that reached to 2.5 kilometers of the crater.
The volcano's alert status was raised up to a level 3/4 the next day. The volcano's region has many other volcanoes like the Kelet or Rinjani volcano. The region is a dangerous spot with moderately large eruptions. The eruptions usually are followed with some mud, lava, or pyroclastic flows. Many people have died when Semeru erupted various times through the years.
Semeru has been almost continuous eruptions since 1967, and more than 500 people have been killed by these eruptions. Semeru has had eruptions commonly like the Volcanian-type eruptions. These Volcanian-type eruptions usually have characteristics of producing pyroclastic flow and throwing out volcanic bombs, which can be very deadly for anyone nearby. The eruptions end with a viscous flow of lava. After learning about everything, it shows that Mount Semeru is very interesting to learn about.
Notice how all volcanoes have lots of things that no one would think belong to a volcano, took place at or near a volcano, or could be about a volcano itself. Well, there's no difference here with the Semeru volcano's tourist activities. In Indonesia, there is a very large and steep volcano with lots of mythology behind the name and has an eruption history from all the way back to 1818. The name of this volcano is the Semeru Volcano. This region is a place where lots of tourists like to go to learn and have fun, although not completely secure, it being that it does in fact have a volcano that erupts. The Bromo Tengger Semeru National Park was officially established a national park on November 12, 1992, and has a large covering area located in the four regencies of Malang, Lumajang, Probolinggo, and the Pasaran. There are many touristic activities that people travel there for, and a few of them include recreation, trekking, climbing, research, camping, and education. But there are lots of other things you can do there. If you do not like that sort of thing, they also have conservation areas in the Bromo Tengger Semeru National Park that people have come to know, along with several scenic lakes and valleys. Semeru is one of Indonesia's most active volcanoes, as its last eruption was in 2012. So it is not necessarily the safest place to spend time, but it might be good enough for risk takers. You may consider planning a trip to Indonesia to enjoy the wonders of the Semeru volcano if you are interested and like the risk.
Volcanic eruption is a very dangerous, but what is also challenging is cleaning up the mess it made. What makes it mostly challenging is cleaning up the ash from the volcano. It is a dirty, time-consuming, and expensive task. But sometimes if you get the public to make an organization, it would cost less and take less time. Usually when the ash is a few millimeters on an urban community, it would take a lot of disposal material to help. It really depends on how much ash you must see in order to find out how long it will take. It can take up to months to clean up completely. But it might take longer if your region is very windy. When the wind blows, the ash particles go with the wind and on the parts that you could have already cleaned. Or with rain, it can be good and bad. Yes, rain can wash away the ash, but it might damage the gutters doing that and is able to clog wastewater systems. Even if there are bad things that could actually make a living worse, in that case, you could still have a place to dispose the ash from roads and buildings. You can dispose them where they don't create new hazards and where it does not allow wind or water to redistribute ash to other places. If the distributed ash is where wind and water is near, you can put a heavy material on top of such as soil and gravel. And you can use straw and other mulchy material on top of the ash also. After learning about how to clean up ash and to keep it clean, I think that it helps people just a little bit on how to take care of it when such things happen.
Mount Semeru has many things such as great tourism and an amazing legend. The legend of Mount Semeru starts off by saying that when the island of Java is unbalanced, the Guru of Gods will chop off the top of Mount Mahameru of land Bharatavarsa, India, and was to be brought to Java. This mountaintop, or Mount Semeru, was placed at the west of the island Java but caused the island to tip, and it was moved eastward. As this was being carried, small parts of it fell off of it and created Mount Katong, Willis, Camp Gunung Kawi, Mount Arjuna, and Mount Kimukus.